Hey guys, it's Chris with Double Eagle Gunworks, and we're inside today rather than outside because it's pouring down rain outside today. And we're going to be taking a look at the SIRT pistol. The SIRT pistol is a great option if you're looking for a nice gift for somebody that's an avid gun person. This is a great gift for somebody in that situation. The SIRT pistol, what that stands for is shot indicating resetting trigger. And that just means that the gun works to help you develop your trigger control. So it indicates where your shot is going to be hitting because it has a laser in the slide of the gun here. And this is an actual non-functioning gun, so the slide doesn't move. There's no way to put ammo in the gun, so you don't have to worry about actually being able to put live ammo in this one. But it does have the same weight and general feel that a normal gun would have. This one in particular is modeled after like a Glock 19, Glock 17 type pistol, about that size and weight. And the magazines are actually detachable, and they have the same weight as like a normal fully loaded magazine would have. So when you put the magazine in the gun, then the feel of the gun is about the same weight as a full-size pistol would be. And the gun is made by Next Level Training, and they have a couple of different models available. They have the one that's modeled after the Glock, like this one, and they also have one that is modeled more after the Smith & Wesson M&P. So they've also come out within the last year or so with a gun that's modeled more like the AR-15 style rifles. So you've got a lot of good options to be able to pick stuff from their website or from their other dealers, so that you can have some good options to be able to train inside, or even you can train outside with this gun if you want to, because the red laser picks up a good distance off, but it works well to be able to develop your trigger control. And if you don't have a good trigger press, then you're never going to have a very accurate shooting, not going to be very accurate shooting. Because if you can't control your trigger, then the muzzle is going to be going all over the place because you're moving that trigger around, moving the gun around when you're shooting. So if you can't have a smooth pull of that trigger, then the gun is going to be wiggling around on you. So this works well to be able to develop that smooth press of the trigger rather than slapping at it or trying to do some funky movement with your finger to be able to get the trigger press. Because when you're in that stressful situation, you want to keep things as simple as possible and be able to control that trigger and get a good shot off and not worry about missing your target because you didn't have a good trigger press. Depending on the packages that you buy with this gun, you can get several different things that go along with it. When I purchased this package several years ago, I got the gun and I got 3 extra magazines to go with it, and then it comes in a nice carrying case as well. And you can get the pistol. This one has a second laser that when you start to press the trigger, it turns on the first laser to indicate how your trigger control is going, because if you move the trigger around when you're starting to press the trigger, then that first light is going to show everything that you're doing during the trigger press. And then the second light comes on when the actual trigger breaks and you would normally have fired the shot. And the second laser indicates where the shot would have hit based on how you had the gun lined up. And the sights and everything are just like a normal gun would be. So you've got the magazine release in the same place that a normal gun is. The trigger, when you press the trigger, it's probably about the same weight as a normal Glock trigger would be in a striker fired pistol. It's not terribly heavy, but it's not a real light trigger anyway either, like some of your other laser pistols are on the market that are just more like a toy pistol rather than something that you can actually practice with and get some good training in with. But this one, it has a lever up top that turns on that second laser when you're shooting, so you can either have it on all the time so that when you press the trigger it comes on automatically, or you can turn that first laser off and you only get the shot indicating laser, so that when you press the trigger and shoot, then it will indicate where the shot is going to be hitting at that point. So there's a lot of good things about this trigger. I mean, about this gun rather. I really like this thing. It's a great training aid for being able to develop a good trigger press, so that when you're shooting, you can get the trigger and show where you're hitting the target. And if you turn that first one on, then when you fire, you've got that first one that comes on right away, and then you have the second one that comes on right on top of it. So if you have any movement in your hands, then that first one is going to show, and then if you have a weird trigger press and you jerk the trigger or something when you're pulling the trigger, then it's going to show up in the way that the light moves around when you're pressing the trigger. You can also use this type pistol with some of the laser targets that are available on the market. I've got a couple by Laser Light that are just a little like little barrels that you shoot the laser, and it'll knock the little barrel over. So you could set those up around a room somewhere and practice hitting the small target like you're could be clearing a room or something along those lines. There's a lot of good options available to work with this type pistol, and there are it's a great training aid to help develop that trigger control. So like with the little laser targets, you can point it at those. Let's turn off the first laser. So when you hit those, knock them over, as long as you hit it in the right spot. And then it's a nice training aid to be able to practice your trigger control as well as your aim, being able to hit a small target like that. So if you're interested in getting one of these pistols, if you go through the USCCA site and you're a member of the USCCA, they have a discount on this. And if you go through our website, then we've got links, and you can check out those and get a little bit of a discount as well on the products. So check out doubleeaglegunworks.com for more information, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.